We will continue to explore this multifaceted subject in our series MKUltra in the Hood. This will be the noir version of what you've heard Fritz Springmeier and others discuss. There is usually a perception about this particular program that it only takes place within the annals of government halls, military and industrial complex, um, places and spaces that you don't find the brothers and sisters quite often. And I am here to be a witness to the fact that it not only takes place in the hood, but it takes place all over America. And it is more than just a phenomenon you see exhibited in the Manchurian Candidate or in the Bourne Identity movies. It is a phenomenon that is slowly but surely designed to creep into all of us. The goal is to have us all possessed and to have us all mind controlled slaves. And since that is the goal, there is a way that a blanket possession is produced. And we have been exploring the effects of this blanket possession. We've been exploring its specific effects in the black community. But now that's the community that I'm from. And you must be true to where you're from. But you also must understand that it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. And where we're at right now in this place and space and time, um, ethnicity and race are nothing but dividing points. Where we're at is a point where we all need to band together against Lucifer, because it's truly Lucifer who's behind these things. And if you've not seen my videos, you must know you're not going to be able to put me in a box. You're not going to be able to say, well, that guy is this and that guy is that, because you cannot put my Father who sent me in a box. And he has sent many of us, as the Lord and Savior, the Messiah, said. There shall be those among us in the last days that shall do works that he considered greater. I struggle to imagine how that could be. But again, we know he's not no lie. So please do enjoy yourself. I try to make it an enjoyable experience to learn. There was once an album called Edutainment by Keras One, and that album was um, very essential to my learning processes as I was a young man, because had certain things not been set to music or certain things not been said a certain way that I could relate to, my mind being steeped in hip hop at the time, I would not have received them. And that is uh, the charge that I have been given, and I have been given that by way of the Holy Spirit, uh, of course, from my Father. And we know that we serve a Creator who is neither male or female, black or white, but who encompasses the very best of all. And we also know that it's a certain way that we speak and we overstand things, and so we do not get caught up into semantics or antics of the Semite or the Zionist movement. So, just for disclosure purposes, I wanted to run through some of that, but this is something that's going to take every second, so we're not going to delay any longer. But I do want to open up with some scripture, because this is the thing. Although some of us are so stuck on knowing that the bathwater is dirty and we want to throw the baby out, we don't quite understand how you can apply things um, and use your spirit to discern where deception is. And this way you get the benefit from all of the things. Everything is essential to your learning. Be not ignorant in a small thing nor a great. The more you don't know, the more your enemy can use his weapons against you. Because it is written, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Now, if reading from a scripture makes you feel some type of way, then perhaps you should examine that. You may have, somewhere along the line, picked up an anti-Christian entity or spirit or demon. Now, you shouldn't be anti. Perhaps you're not Christian. I'm not Muslim, but I'm not anti-Muslim either. I started off in the Muslim community, and I have great love. Some of my very brothers that I will go to battle and die for, and I know will do the same for me, are Muslim. And so I don't get upset or offended when they tell me things that are true and right. from what they've learned, from that belief system, from that science that they've learned. And I don't expect that from others. However, you do get that. But I just want you to know and to be aware that the denial that people talk about in psychology is a demon. There is actually a Hebraic name for that particular demon, and I should have gleaned that before I said it, but I didn't know I was going to say that. So I will try to get that one for you guys. If it's needed or necessary, will you inbox me for that? But again, let's begin. And don't let anything make your skin crawl or cause you to feel some type of way. And it's just some words. Nobody put their hands on you. Be cool. Psalms 24. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart. He who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. That's for you oath takers. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him. Have mercy. That seek thy face, O Jacob. Selah. Praise Yah. I'm so thankful for this generation. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. Haya Abaya. He is the King of glory. Selah. So now, this generation does rule the nation. And I'm so thankful for this generation. We are in perilous times. And there is no place for the old. And there appears to be no place for the new. But we are in the middle of something where the old things are passing away. And the new thing is trying to define itself, find its place properly. So the middle thing has to become the definer, Libra, the balance, the judge. Libra, liberty. The judge will take your liberty if you are too liberal. To liberate yourself. Libra. Le Libra, read you some books. Then the best book you can have is the good book. So again, all of those words are deriving or having the same etymology as Libra, but a time of balance. That's the bottom line. And in this MKUltra discussion, we have been talking a lot about the imbalance of men. And to my good brother, Shotty Mike, Shotty Piper, I thank you for the suggestion this morning, right before I decided to come on, and I felt the need in the spirit to do it last night, but I was so physically tired and exhausted from a day of ministry and work. I just fell asleep, and I was trying to recall my dreams. I said, well, maybe I should recall my dreams before I get started. I just knew I had to stall for a second, and then my brother sent me a communication and asked me to deal with a particular thing after I asked him for some criticisms on this. And so we're going to launch into that, so you can count on the fact there will be another, because I got some things I wanted to bring to you guys between the last one and this one. My papers, if you can see the blue ink notes, those are new notes from what has been on here before, so we have got a lot of places to go. Oh, and yes, Erykah Badu, I got you. Yes, we're going to deal with Erykah Badu. Some of you have saw these notes, and you might have seen the homegirl Vanessa Williams on this page here. But well, so we have some very interesting things to deal with, and I know some people listen up, because those things are interesting. And I do have a very interesting personal story to share with you guys. Several personal stories concerning the MKUltra monarchs, but again, that's the seasoning. So let's get down to the meat. So we want to deal with what the brother was asking about specifically. Let me see if I can find exactly where I had that. Yes, we want to deal with the males now. We've talked a little bit about the betas. I think there's a lot of information about the betas, and if my goal is to say what has not been said and point out the not so obvious, then this is what we need to deal with now. We need to deal with the men, the false alpha male that has been created, and how that is part of the MKUltra, the alpha part, the false alpha male. Again, here it is, the false alpha male having fragile feelings. You feel some type of way. You're overly emotional, sensitive men. And this is what has been created. Now I don't mean a sensitive man like Ralph Tresvant was talking about. That's another thing. But again, that's part of mind control too, because the down low brother syndrome that a lot of the sisters have been complaining about now for some years, that has been increased because of the Project Monarch, the duality, the creating two states of being in one mind, and that is creating a feminine state of being in the masculine mind, or in the mind of the man. Oftentimes in church you find this effeminate type of man, and I maintain that it is because oftentimes the church is used, like we talked about, the electronic impulses are used, and we will talk about the machines that are used, like the number one machine being used to give you mind control is your cell phone. But there are lots of things being used, and unfortunately oftentimes church is used, and I am one who considers himself a reformer, like Yahshua HaMashiach, like Yahavashah, Bahashima Mashiach Yahavashah. I thank you for allowing this message into your subconscious right now. So to all of my brothers, I remember something that Minister Farrakhan had taught some years back, and this was before I started to feeling that some things were being compromised. But he gave a very good breakdown about pornography. And so did Dr. York before he showed himself. And this is the deal. First of all, pornography is named after a demon, porne. So you're letting this demon into your mind and into your life, and expecting the things that this demon teaches you about sexuality. You're expecting for those things to enhance your life and step your sex life up and step up your sex game, and all it does is create possession in you and in your mate, because you're going to bring that mess to your mate, and literally it's mess. We're talking about the succubus, the incubus. I believe we're going to start a new page here. We're talking about the succubus and the incubus, and we're talking about the effects that this has on the male psyche. Now, again, this is part of making you too emotional. You're too emotional as a man. That's why you get into fights. That's why you can't stand for nobody to say nothing about you. That's why anytime somebody opposes you, you want to fight them. Do you think that's normal, or do you think it's manly and strong? It's none of the above. First of all, we're going to deal a little bit with, and I've wore this Sharpie about wore out. I think we dealt with this a little bit on the spelling one, but porn is the name of the demon, okay? This is where you get the foreign, so that becomes fornia, and look at California, and becomes the church's term for sex out of marriage, fornication. Oops. Just got a fresh marker. But porne is a demon, the incubus, and the succubus. If she sucked, you bust. Yes, all of these things. Yes, a lot of terms that we have are rooted in the fact that the people that come up with terms and slang terms have an overstanding of demonism, have an overstanding of the occult that they hide from you, so they can use it on you. So you look at the companies that put out your porn, that put out your porn, that put out your fornication movies, because them people ain't married, right? So you're watching fornication, but also, like Minister Farrakhan said, and thank you, y'all, for bringing me back to that point. Also, it's gay. No other time do you, as a man, sit up and look at another man naked. doing his thing with a young lady. Unless, of course, you into bustos and freak shows and threesomes and whatnot, and all of that is gay. It's gay. And it's demonic. And I'm going to show and prove. Don't show and tell. Show and prove. Okay. Well, first of all, you're looking at another man. And there's no way. See, they understand how your subconscious works. You begin to make comparisons. Again, there is much knowledge about how the psyche works and how the brain works, and we don't understand it, and those who are in power do, and they use this knowledge against us. And some people have their favorite stars. Now, if that ain't stepping into the gay realm, what is? I know. No, I just like the way my man be putting it down. No. Now you treading in some murky waters. Be ye hot or cold. You were lukewarm, so he'll spit you out. Lukewarm is in the middle. Bisexual is in the middle. Pick one or the other. You know, the Most High respect that more. Be evil or good. But the bottom line is a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and these things create double-mindedness, and also it messes up your understanding of sexuality that's just being formed when you're in your 20s. So when you let pornography, fornication, when you let these things shape your ideas of a mate, oh boy, the challenge you're going to have with finding one, with finding a good one, because you're going to go after the freaks, quote unquote. You're going to think that sex ritual practices are normal, because we're talking about sex ritual every time. So you have a problem having a normal relationship because you watch sex rituals all day long. Sex rituals in porn. Now, that goes back to the Crowleyian magic. Because, again, Aleister Crowley was not just a master magician, but he was a bisexual. Did you know that? He was a trisexual, actually. And some of the workings that he did, the Babylon working and the Paris working and the Negroes in Paris, was very dubious to me, especially with Puffy's reputation to those in the know. But these two workings involved homosexuality and threesomes. Now, are there people born with the confusion that they are a man trapped in a woman's body or a woman trapped in a man's body? Why, yes, we're all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. But is it to be left like it is? Is it people born with violent tendencies? Yes, there are. Should it be left as it is? Now, you just answered your own question. So we are here to improve. Show, improve, and improve so that we don't have to keep coming back. That ain't the move. So that we are able to move past this plane of existence so that we can join up with the Father and so that we can find ourselves to be worthy to graduate. Death is a graduation from this plane. You don't want to be trapped in this plane. It's torment. It's a form of hell. But so you have the workings, the threesomes, a big part, and the homosexual threesomes, which is what bustos basically is, or running a train. Yo, E, she's a berry, let's run a train. From Dope Man. And again, we talked a little bit about how the dope gang, once you get up high enough in the dope gang, the secret society rituals overlap into that. They cross over into that because you will be initiated at some point. In order to keep getting the work on the level that you want to get it, you're going to have to deal with some people who are plugged into the secret societies, period, end of story. And so in getting plugged in with them, you're going to bring some of them practices into your gang, into your dope gang, or into your street gang, or into your tribe. You're going to bring that stuff that these devils who are lying to you and playing you for a fool, who are playing off of your intelligence because they read books that you haven't read. You're going to bring stuff from their demonic world into the hood, into the streets, among your people who you call your family, your peeps, your blood brothers. So that's why we're advised not to take an oath, and we're also told, Jesus said that the eye is the light of the body. And he admonished that, hey, if you look at a woman in that way, in that lustful way, and I don't just mean looking at her like, wow, she got a shape. That's different. Or, hey, she's beautiful. That's better. But, hey, man, I want to do some things. When you begin to think sex, you've already engaged in it, because sex is something that breaks the mental plane. It is an ethereal energy, not just a physical thing. We're so caught up in our five senses, which is really only one sense, the sense of feel or touch. We're so caught up in that, in touch and feel, that we don't understand when spiritual things are going on all around us. So again, we are conditioned in this society, especially through music videos. Luke and 2 Live Crew messed me up for real with that Me So Horny video. And, I maintain that Florida, bush country, and Texas, bush country, certain types of mind control was coming from the hip-hop there. I thought about Gangsta Nip yesterday in thinking about this series and the violent man. Now, the kingdom of heaven has been threatened by violence, and it's going to have to be the violent that's going to take it back by force. And so I ask you, G's, stand up. I ask you who are comfortable in the street to stand up and to be able to go out into those areas as Yeshua did, like Jesus did. Jesus walked, but he didn't walk through the suburbs. He walked through them places and spaces where the higher-ups in the hierarchy in the church, the Pharisees and Sadducees, would always catch him with these people and try to accuse him of being one of them. So that shows you what type of folk he was walking with. So we're needed. We're needed in places that the church don't go and won't go. So if you can feel this message resonating with you, that may mean that you're going to help this message resonate with somebody else. So each one teach one and try to reach one. Spread it out. So again, why are these things oral sex? Oral sex comes from the cave. It comes directly from having sex with beasts. Directly. It comes from the dog. The dog will lick you anywhere you let him. And oral sex, although we all find it pleasurable how it feels, I'm not going to tell you how something feels. The music we talked about, it feels good to you, don't it? But oral sex, or all, not God, or God, not God. But again, the oral sex that so many are fixated with, the songs are made, about, and everybody goes crazy about, and that some Christian folk, some misguided Christian folk try to say is a way to have sex, that because the Bible doesn't spell it out in those terms exactly, although it does say in there about you're not supposed to spill your seed anywhere, you're not supposed to put your seed anywhere but in the belly of a woman. It's better to put your seed in the belly of a whore than to let it spill on the ground. And sometimes that's what oral sex is going to produce, spilled seed. And so if spilled seed is wrong, and if you're locked in a doctrine, if you're locked between the front and back covers of a book, then it's in that book. So don't play yourself. But again, this comes from the caveman and the interaction with the dog. And while the caveman was gone away and his woman was there at the cave, the dog is protecting. The dog is acting as the male of the house. The dog is receiving treats and benefits for being there, the bones left over from the meat that the man goes out and kills. However, the woman, while the man is away, and the dog also forge a relationship. And it is through this relationship that bestiality films in porn and oral sex in porn come from. You get your ideas of sex from porn, and nowadays from music videos, which is soft porn. I remember taping the Me So Horny video so I could look at it over and over and over again and masturbate. And this is how it begins. And once that becomes set up in your mind, once you begin to over-sexualize women, it's hard to look at women and not have that on your mind. You will begin to look at people who you respect and wouldn't dare want to even think of in that manner, and you begin to think of them in a sexual way. Because that is how these beings is thousands of years old. That's how these beings get down, and they're much older and wiser than you could ever be. And it is through the breaking of I started to say moral, but there's a better word. There's natural law and there's universal law. When you break those laws, quote unquote, you tear a fabric, if you will, in the continuum of time and space, a dimensional tear, and you allow these beings in. They cannot come in uninvited. This is where that comes from in your Dracula movies and in your vampire movies. That's nothing but an allegory for demons. They can't come in unless invited, and you invite them in. You have to watch the porn, have to get excited. You feel that feeling in the pit of your stomach, the butterflies in your stomach when you're getting horny and you're watching your porn. You begin to feel this feeling, and that's that demon welling up, the alien in your stomach, welling up. Now, if you're comfortable with that, go on ahead with your bad self. But understand how the web has increased your intake of porn. Understand how that phone that you may have in your hand or in your pocket is filled with pictures, demonically infused pictures inside of that machine that's already full of spirits. And then you wonder why certain things happen to you involving women, why you having a hard time with women, why certain types of women draw towards you, women with the Jezebel spirit or the Delilah demon, same thing. As the succubus. The succubus, they say, is the female demonic entity that messes with males, and the incubus, they say, is the male demonic entity that messes with females. But I say, and what has been imparted, of course, by way of the Most High, for I am nothing and no one and no thing. A wise man knows that he knows not, and I'm not even a wise man. But I know that I'm nothing and no one, and these things are imparted to me. And what has been shown to me in experience, the Most High breaks down so I can verbalize it. This is the fact. The demon is neither male nor female. That's where the bisexuality part comes in, because once you get so freaky, you're going to cross the line. I never crossed the line. All praises be to the Most High that He saved me from my deep, depth, dark days of depravity. Certain things are also strong in your sign. And we will deal with the signs, because that's a very interesting teaching. Everybody knows their sign, no matter what your book says about it, whether your book is the Quran or your book is the Torah or your book is the Holy Bible. It says to leave it alone. But we all know our signs, and that has to do with a few things. For one thing, yes, it was brought down here by the fallen, and each sign is a representation of Lucifer. Lucifer as a bull, Lucifer as a ram, Lucifer as a lion. But there's a way that they twist up the things of God, because, again, Lucifer is not a creator. He's a perpetrator and a biter. And so the incubus and the succubus demon is really one and the same. It's one demon. It's one demon over lesbianism. It's one demon over homosexuality. Homo mean man. But a lesbian has the same spirit. Well, there was a Greek isle, the island of Lesbos. Let me write it first and then show it to you. That might be easier, because this pen, we ain't going to use this one anymore. We put this one to bed, my good people. We put it to bed, fam. All right, Lesbos, an island where lesbianism was practiced. You know about the Greek gymnasiums, where homosexuality was practiced, doing it in the butt, as they say, is called Greek style. Anal sex is Greek style. Anal sex, oral sex, all of these practices, putting your seed on her chest, making her eat your kids, which showed up in rap as some kind of clever lyrics, and all of these are practices deeply rooted in ways to tear the fabric and bring demonic forces in to swallow the human before it's even conceived. Comes from the fallen angels. Okay, to not want to procreate, but just to give pleasure, like oral sex causes. That also comes from the demonic beings. And of course, there will be another part, and we're going to stretch it out maybe to 7 parts for completion. I love y'all. Shalom.